Hey guys, guess who's back? Back again. Hayley's back. Tell a friend. Okay, I'm gonna try and be back. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try my best. I don't know how successful it's gonna go, but I'm gonna try. I promise. I missed doing videos and talking to you guys, and I feel like I took quite a break from reading true crime stuff for a while after having my first kid. It was really hard on me emotionally, and then something about having my second kid, maybe it's because she's a girl and us girls love true crime, but I'm like, oh, it's not as hard to read anymore. I still will never cover stuff with like kids and stuff in it anymore. I can't handle it. But I've kind of like found my interest in it again a little bit. And so I thought, let's do this. Let's try and be back. Now, keeping in mind, I do still have a 3-year-old and a baby. So, you know, life's a little hectic, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and be consistent. So, hi, hope you guys missed me. I thought, considering this week, hopefully I'm uploading it this week on time, is Thanksgiving. Maybe we could do like a Thanksgiving true crime case and cover that. So I went deep diving and looking for something and found a really interesting one. Also, just quick update for anybody who cares, because I've had a lot of you really be nice about my journey of becoming a mom and everything. Kids are doing great. Everybody's wonderful. They love each other. Really happy, and just life is really good right now. So I'm happy to be back and share it with you a little bit. Let's get on to the case. Oh, also my baby girl is here. She is crawling around, so you can probably hear her snorting like a little piglet right now under the table. So I apologize if that's like, you know, noisy or anything. So today's case, we are going to discuss the murders of Haile Kifer and Nicholas Brady. Our killer in question, Byron David Smith, who was born on July 11th, 1948, was retired from the U.S. State Department, and he was never married, and he lived alone. Now, prior to the murders, which we will shortly discuss, Smith claimed at the trial that he had been burglarized at least a half a dozen times over the preceding few months. However, he had only reported one previous burglary to police, and investigators found evidence of only 2 previous burglaries, one of which occurred in his detached garage, and of which he appeared to have no knowledge of when brought up by the police. Among the items stolen were $4,000 in cash, his father's POW watch, coins from a collection, and a chainsaw. Smith began routinely wearing a holster with a loaded gun inside his home, as well as stashing bottles of water and granola bars in his basement. He also installed a security system to protect himself. On Thanksgiving night, November 12th, 2012, Haile Kifer, age 18, and her cousin Nicholas Brady, age 17, broke into Smith's home in Little Falls, Minnesota. Smith had just driven down the road and parked his car at a neighbor's house. And by his own account to police, he had been visiting the neighbors when he saw Kifer, who he suspected of the burglaries, driving past his home. He commented that he needed to get ready for her and went back to his house. Upon entering his home, Smith turned on a recording device that he owned. He removed light bulbs from the ceiling lights and positioned himself in a chair in the basement that was obscured from view. He heard a window upstairs break and Brady climb in, and this is captured on the audio recording that he recorded. Smith then waited in silence for 12 minutes until Brady began to walk down into the basement. Smith shot Brady twice on the stairs and once in the head after he fell to the bottom of the stairs. Smith then made taunting remarks to Brady's body, wrapped it in a tarp, and dragged him into another room. He went upstairs, and 10 to 15 minutes later, he ran back down into the basement, reloaded his weapon, and took up his previous position in the obscured chair. Minutes later, Kifer entered the house and could be heard calling her cousin's name. As she made her way down the stairs, Smith shot her. Wounded, she fell down the stairs, and Smith can be heard on the recording sarcastically saying, "Oh, sorry about that," followed by Kifford saying, "Oh my God," very quickly. Smith shoots her again, multiple times in the torso, in the midst of which she's screaming, "Oh my God," and then shoots her once next to her left eye. He repeatedly called her derogatory names and then dragged her into another room, tossing her body on top of her cousin's, and shot her one final time under the chin, murdering her. Audio and video of the events were recorded by Smith's security system. He later stated to the police that he was worried about them being armed. He did not report to police that he had killed Kifer and Brady until the day after the murders, keeping their corpses in a closet. Now, Morrison County Sheriff Michael Wetzel has acknowledged that Brady and Kifer were there to burgle Smith's residence. There's no disputing that. Brady's sister had actually claimed that Brady stole drugs from her home on August 28th, and that was a case that was still under investigation at the time of Brady's killing. Evidence recovered from the car driven by Brady was linked to a burglary of a residence of a retired teacher the night before he and Kifer were killed by Smith. In his statement, Smith said that Kifer had let out a short laugh after she fell down the stairs. And he said, quote, "If you're trying to shoot somebody and they laugh at you, you go again." The audio tape did not record Kifer laughing. Instead, she cries, "Oh my God," very rapidly in fear. In police interviews, Smith acknowledged firing more shots than I needed to, and that he fired a, quote, "good, clean finishing shot" in Kifer's head. Legal analysts have stated that the initial shootings would most likely have been justified under Minnesota laws, but that the subsequent shots were not justified once any threat had been neutralized. Sheriff Wetzel said that, quote, "the law doesn't permit you to execute somebody once a threat is gone." In addition to his home surveillance system, Smith also recorded at least 6 hours of audio on a digital recorder in the basement of the residence. Prior to the break-ins, he is heard saying, quote, "in your left eye," and, quote, "I realize I don't have an appointment, but I would like to see one of the lawyers here." The prosecution noted that Kifer was later shot in the left eye by Smith and alleged that the other statement is a rehearsal of what he would say after the shooting, an indication that he knew he would soon need an attorney. Following the shootings, Smith made a number of statements, including, quote, "I am not a bleeding heart liberal. I felt like I was cleaning up a mess. Not like spilled food, not like vomit, not even like diarrhea. The worst mess possible. And I was stuck with it in some tiny little respect. I was doing my civic duty. If the law enforcement system couldn't handle it, I had to do it. I had to do it. The law system couldn't handle her and fell into my lap, and she dropped her problem in my lap, and she threw her own problem in my face, and I had to clean it up." Smith's recorded statements, the evidence indicating that he had planned the shootings, along with the excessive number of shots fired, led to Smith being charged with second-degree murder. Smith was initially charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder. However, in April of 2013, he was indicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder. Bail was later set at $50,000, which Smith posted. On April 29th of 2014, he was found guilty of 2 counts of premeditated first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Following his conviction and sentence of life imprisonment, Smith appealed to the Minnesota Supreme Court, and on March 9th of 2016, the Minnesota Supreme Court affirmed Smith's conviction and sentence. In November 2018, Smith's attorney filed a federal appeal, citing a brief closure of the trial to the public as grounds for Smith's conviction to be set aside, which, if granted, would necessitate a new trial. The federal district court denied relief, and the United States Court of Appeals for the 8th Circuit affirmed. On November of 2020, Smith's lawyers filed a petition for, and I apologize, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, writ of certiorari in the United States Supreme Court, which was denied on March 22nd, 2021. Smith is currently incarcerated at Oak Park Heights Prison. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are glad that I'm back, and I hope that I can upload a little more consistently, but we'll see what happens. I don't remember my outro. Something like, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you have a request for a video, comment that below, and I'll see you next week. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up and do it next time better. This is not, I'm not doing it right today, okay? Thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye.